All right, we are following up on a story we first brought you over the weekend. As coronavirus cases continue to climb, one local incoming lawmaker has sparked debate ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. A Clackamas County Chair-elect, Tootie Smith, posted to Facebook saying she will celebrate Thanksgiving with as many family and friends as she can find, defying Governor Kate Brown's statewide restrictions that went into effect yesterday.
She doubled down on that sentiment this week during an interview on Fox News, and this morning she is with us live to address the comments that some are calling from that interview racist. Tootie, good morning. Good to have you with us.
Well, I'm well. How are you today?
Doing well. So we do want to start by asking you, you spoke with Tucker Carlson on Fox about these restrictions that we saw go into effect this week, saying, you know, we don't need to be treated as second-rate slaves. People have taken issue with that, saying that that has racial connotations. I'm curious, do you regret using those words?
I probably should have worded it differently. I probably should have referred to us being prisoners and Kate Brown as our warden. But I want to say this. This is the same governor who told forest firefighters to stand down. People's homes burned and people died. When she let those homes burn, that was reverse love. She didn't love her people enough to protect them. And now she wants to separate families at Thanksgiving when we need to be together the most. This is why I am speaking out.
Okay, well, I mean, you are saying you want to gather with as many friends and family as you can find, and that really does go against every major study, suggestions by doctors, by scientists, by health experts. So what would you have to say to them? Because that's not Governor Brown. Those are medical experts who are saying that this is potentially dangerous and deadly.
This state has been in a lockdown for 8 months. Our citizens have complied by wearing masks, using social distancing, using hygiene methods, staying home when sick, covering their faces. Our population, our dear people have done everything the governor has asked. I think people can make their own decisions about their own lives. We are responsible and intelligent. We do not need to be treated like children in our own homes. The government has no right to invade the privacy of people in their own homes.
You know, I think it's tough, though, to ask people to make decisions when in many of these cases, research has shown spread is being conducted primarily by asymptomatic people. You know, you might be doing everything right and not feel sick, but still be putting others at risk. So how do you reconcile the asymptomatic spread, the difficulty we see there, with wanting to gather with people?
I reconcile it by letting people make their own decisions. If you have a weak immune system, if you're frail, stay home, don't celebrate Thanksgiving. What I posted is for my family. Each person, each family can make their own decision for Oregon. I'm posted that as a private citizen. Yes, I will become chair in January, but my private life will be conducted in the way I see fit. I think Oregonians need to conduct their private lives with their own decisions, their own methodology to keep themselves safe.
Mm-hmm. You seem like you have a lot of passion and you have a lot of anger toward specifically Governor Brown. Some people have said that you're making this scientific issue a political one, fracturing the issues. How do you bridge that divide there?
I'm giving people their choices. Government needs to come out with more proactive measures on how to combat future known and unknown viruses. I don't see our state government leaders doing any of that. If you go to my website, tootysmith.com, back in April, I penned a 10-page COVID paper on how to prevent the spread of the viruses through scientific research and methods. I talk about people fortifying their immune systems through holistic measures of vitamins, keeping yourself healthy. And we need to change the conversation in this state from hunkering down and being fearful to one of proactive measures to go ahead and try to stop the spread of this virus. When I become chair, I'm going to be sitting down with my 4 other county commissioners. I'm going to ask them that we flip the switch and we start instituting proactive measures with our public health authority and our emergency operations management. That's what needs to be done. It's not being done in this state. Our state here in Oregon has the most restrictive measures of any state. And I'm merely saying I'm going to have a great Thanksgiving with my family.
Well, Tootie, I know you're saying that you're making those decisions right now as a private citizen, but as you said, you will soon be speaking as a voice of leadership for Clackamas County. So I'm curious, what is your message to fellow Clackamas County residents this Thanksgiving? Are you asking them to do the same?
I'm asking the citizens of Clackamas County to do what is in their hearts to do. If they do not want to celebrate, then don't celebrate. If you want to celebrate, do what you want. For me and my family, we have decided. My family makes their own decisions. I don't tell them what to do. They understand wearing a mask, social distancing. In fact, most of my family members have been tested for COVID. And I would recommend that most people go in and be tested if you think that's the right thing for you to do.
Okay, Tootie Smith, we appreciate your time this morning, and hopefully you do have a safe and healthy holiday.